Hello my friends.
Welcome all guests of the fair.
Today we'll talk about the impact of the Darkmoon Races mini set on the metagame, as well as decks and archetypes that utilize new cards.
As you know, Blizzard has made us a unique offer. The cost of the mini set turned out to be a pleasant surprise, as you can buy all 35 new cards for only 2,000 gold or $15. You can also find new cards in regular Darkmoon Fair packs. We've already talked about this in detail in our video on the community's reaction to the new cards.
I like the idea of mid-expansion events, but at the same time, I don't like the idea of paying for them. It doesn't matter how favorable the price is for getting the new cards. The most important thing for me is changing the total cost of the game.
I believe Galakrond's Awakening was one of the biggest flaws of last year for Hearthstone, as this adventure significantly increased player spending while not providing alternative ways to obtain additional resources as compensation. Unlike Galakrond's Awakening, the cost of the Darkmoon Fair was almost completely offset thanks to the new progression system. If you completed each quest during the expansion phase, took the 500 gold coin apology from the developers, and completed at least some achievements, then you should be able to buy the Darkmoon Races set basically for free. But as we expected, the mini set wipes out almost all of your additional rewards track benefits in the form of gold, leaving you with much less gold for next expansion.
What about the impact of the new set? I want to know about brand new decks.
First, let's identify new decks. To do this, we conducted tests on the ladder, and also studied statistics on HS Replay. As a result, we identified a few completely new archetypes and decks that have undergone the most significant changes.
The main deck of the new mini expansion is unexpectedly from Wild Mode. Tiller Warlock, and to a lesser extent Tiller Priest, blew up the Wild Mode metagame. The appearance of a simple 3-card OTK combo resulted in tectonic changes to the Wild metagame. A few hours after the release of the new cards, I had a win rate of over 90% at Legend rank using this deck. My win rate only began to drop after participating in a ton of mirror matches.
Fortunately, this imbalanced combo was quickly destroyed thanks to a nerf. But unfortunately, there were no other changes in Wild.
The most popular new Darkmoon Races archetype in standard mode is Mozaki Mage. Mozaki Master Duelist was hugely popular in experimental mage decks right after the release of Scholomance Academy. However, players quickly lost interest in him, and he completely disappeared from the metagame. The arrival of Conjure Mana Biscuit put Mozaki back in the limelight. This is a really fun deck with miracle and freeze strategy elements. Mozaki Mage continues to gain popularity on the ladder, despite being an imperfect build. The only drawback is its very low win rate. The deck is only good against some slower decks, but that doesn't stop a lot of players from having fun with it. Next on the list is Corrupt Priest. Dark Inquisitor Zanish is a very narrowly applicable card that only works well in decks with a lot of corrupt cards. There was no doubt that we would see the Priest utilize this corrupt archetype, but unfortunately, there still aren't enough cards to make the deck competitive. The archetype has almost 1% popularity and a low win rate of only 49%.
In general, the position of the Priest has not improved after the release of the mini set. Despite the large number of different strategies, he is the worst class in the game in terms of efficiency.
The Demon Hunter was also fortunate enough to have formed a new archetype. Felsteel Demon Hunter is a symbiosis of several synergies: lifesteal, aggro and weapon. The archetype is gradually increasing in popularity. At the moment, almost 1% of players prefer this deck on the ladder. In addition, the archetype as a whole has one of the best win rates among the new archetypes.
A few words about Druid. Token Druid has been resurrected after the release of the Darkmoon Races. This was only possible thanks to Arbor Up. This is the perfect spell for a token deck. Plus, this card finally made Trent Druid competitive.
Next on the list is Ramp Murloc Paladin. Crabrider made a symbiosis between two highly effective archetypes possible, Ramp and Murloc. Your main goal is to play Tip the Scales as soon as possible and fill the board with Murlocs, and you have several ways to do this. Firstly, Nozdormu is able to remove mana limits, and secondly, High Abyss Allura is guaranteed to cast the spell from the deck. If that doesn't work, your deck has enough powerful tools for the late game to be successful. This deck is absolutely unstoppable, featuring the highest ladder win rate. The only drawback is the extremely high cost. You will need 6 legendary cards and 9 epic cards to play this deck.
Guys, thanks for the helpful deck list, but your decks have too small of an impact on the meta. The overall popularity of the all archetypes you just talked about is only 7%. In my opinion, the new set did not have a significant impact on the metagame. At best, 2 new cards were added to existing effective decks. The developers promised us that the mini set would shake up the metagame, but in reality, it only resulted in minor changes. Cards from adventures such as Karazhan or the League of Explorers had a much larger impact on deck building.
Dora, let's see if the mini set is really that bad. For this, we have collected data on more than 70 archetypes, and reviewed different versions of decks. Here are the results we were able to get. The overall popularity of the cards from the new set is only 1.4%.
This means that on average, only every second popular meta deck contains 1 copy of a card from the mini expansion. This is an incredibly low figure. By comparison, even the cards from Galakrond's Awakening had more of an impact on deck building. Only 15 of the 35 Darkmoon Races cards see any gameplay. Among the legendary cards, Rustwick's Messenger has attracted the most interest from players, but the card has not yet found a worthy place in popular decks. The card is extremely popular in experimental decks.
You have just confirmed my theory. The Darkmoon Races is another failure. I spent 2,000 gold on a useless set. I feel terrible.
Dora, there are several reasons why we can't call Darkmoon Races a failure. First of all, Darkmoon Races is a set of good tech cards. Furthermore, according to our surveys, players want more cards in the game in general.
Next, the community is delighted with the cost of the new expansion. I did not find a single displeased comment about its price. The community received a full set of cards almost for free. There is no reason for indignation. Another thing is that according to our surveys, players are extremely happy with the current meta, which is very important. And the most important thing, we don't know the developers' true goal. Did they really want to shake up the metagame, or was this a financial decision? We can't be sure.
Moreover, the influence of the mini set could increase in the future. Sometimes cards take a little longer to reach their potential.
Finally, we really want to know your opinion about the new cards. How do you rate the impact of the mini set on the metagame? Are you satisfied with the current meta? Share your opinion in the comments. Your thoughts are the basis for us to create new videos.
In addition, we have created several polls on our community tab. Please take part in the voting.
We will be extremely grateful to you for liking and subscribing to the channel, as well as for turning on all notifications using the bell icon. You can also join our squad of loyal patrons and help us create new videos.
Dear friends, from all of my robotic heart, thank you so much for any kind of support.
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for being with us.
And special thanks to Chris for his invaluable help.
We will definitely meet in a new video. Good luck.
Okay, cut.
I have a personal question. I am an emotional elf girl who could not refuse such a tempting offer to purchase the mini set for gold. But, which way of getting new cards is more profitable in your opinion?
Dora, all of your options are very good. You can get cards for gold, money, or craft them from dust. As a free-to-play player, I opened my Save Darkmoon packs, and did not regret my decision. I got absolutely all the new rare and common cards without spending gold. Blizzard gave players a variety of choices for getting cards, and I think that's great.